Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 45 of ALLLLL, the podcast with me, Jenz, and my friend Raammo.
Hi.
Hello.
45
Uh-huh.
episode, gents. Jesus.
We're climbing through.
We are climbing through. We are 5 episodes. We got to get this 50 episode locked in. We got to start doing some planning. We got to start getting the streamers out. We got to start hanging the balloons up. We got to start ordering the cake, getting that made. It's coming. How's your week been, Jens? What have you been up to for the past 7 days since we last talked?
Same old in terms of just living life, and went and watched James Bond, which is nice. I won't talk about it.
I too. No, I still think it's a bit too early to talk about.
Yeah, totally.
Especially because it, has already been delayed once and only did just come out the past couple of days here in Australia.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't already, I do highly suggest, if you are a Bond fan, even if you're not a Bond fan, to go and watch No Time to Die. It is very enjoyable. That's all I'm going to say about it. But also, actually, sorry, I will tack on. It is almost 3 hours long. So like I said to Jens,
make
sure you take a pee break before you go in, and don't drink anything. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Steer clear of salty snacks, because that will make you want to drink. And you'll be fine,
The annoying thing is, the anticipation of knowing that I cannot pee makes me want to pee more. And I was very annoyed.
You get the nervous pees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate it, man. And it's because, you can't, set a timer or anything like that, or they don't have, a clock going on in the cinema that's is there 15 minutes left? Can I wait 15 minutes? You just got to guesstimate and be like, it's got to be around, the end's just around the corner, surely, And you just got to, pray and hope that you don't, wet yourself in the middle of the cinema. But yeah, no, it's, go and see it. It's great. Me and Jens were talking about it just before we recorded. We were giving our little thoughts on it. But we'll probably wait until next week or the week after even until we discuss it, because, I want to give you guys a chance to, go and see it and think for yourselves, I haven't done too much either, gents. I saw No Time to Die. I just been sleeping, playing football, throwing my back out, just the normal things that any person does. I have no idea how I did it. Played football last night. I didn't even do anything hard. I didn't fall over. I didn't twist it weirdly. I didn't crash into anyone. I didn't nothing like that. Come home, was like, that's a little bit weird. That's a little bit weird. Nothing too crazy. Went to bed. Woke up this morning.
Pain.
Blown out.
Yeah.
Pain. So much so that it was in the middle of my back, across the middle of my back, if that makes sense. And when I inhaled deeply, I could feel it. And I was like, that is so weird and annoying. But thankfully I did manage to get to the chemist and got some Voltaren tablets.
Okay, good.
And I took some of those, and that actually did help.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Voltaren is great.
I was able to go to work, and I was able to at least walk around a little bit. I wasn't lifting anything, but I was just able to at least go to work and things like that. So I felt better, because I really didn't want to throw the team out today. I didn't want to call in sick and be like, hey, look, sorry guys. Late as well. So
heat patches are also really good. Yeah, get your hands on those.
Yes. Last night I have, actually, you can see on my mic here, I have a little Ditto wheat bag. I have a larger version of him.
Oh, okay.
And he
just
was on my back
on
last
your
night.
back, yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Nice,
he was hugging me. But yeah. We do have a large episode this week, Jen. So do we want to jump straight into the news? Because I don't know if you guys have heard, or I don't know if you've heard, Jens, but we recently had Disney Plus Day. For some reason, Disney thought it was a good idea to give Disney Plus its own public holiday type thing. I don't understand it really, but there was a bunch of announcements that came alongside that, and we're going to go through everything with you a bit later in the episode. There is a lot of news though, so buckle up and get ready. But we're going to start off, Jens. Do you want to take us off with this weird news that you found with Ed Sheeran, of all people?
My pleasure. Yeah. So Ed Sheeran has teased a collaboration with
that Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
The Ed Sheeran that you're thinking of, yes.
You know.
Not a different one. The Ed Sheeran that you know, the music guy, yeah.
Has teased And you will never guess this in your whole life, but he's collabing with Pokemon Go. How, you may ask? Nobody knows. But it's
I don't get it.
I don't know how. It's going to be music based, which is
You would
safe
hope
to
so.
assume, because that is the only thing we know him
You would
for.
hope so.
Really. And the little bit of acting he did in one. Anyways, so yeah,
Wasn't he in Game of Thrones?
he was in Game of
I
Thrones,
think?
and he was in
Okay, yeah.
either Bohemian
He's also
Rhapsody
done
or
some other
Rocket
smaller
Man.
things.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah,
See, this is super weird too because like it obviously it's to do with like because this year is the 25th anniversary of like the Pokemon like brand as a whole or whatever. And like I'm a big Pokemon fan. I've been following Pokemon for a little while. Basically since I was a kid and like sort of old enough to at least comprehend what Pokemon is. Um, and so I've been following all like the celebrations around this anniversary quite closely. And they did not too long ago release like an album for Pokemon, the anniversary. For
Yeah.
whatever reason, it was an album that had all these like Pokemon songs on it. And they had some pretty big artists on it. So like Post Malone was on it, Joe Balvin, Katy Perry, Lil Yachty, Vince Staples, to name a few, were like, commissioned by the Pokemon company to write songs and perform songs for them. And I thought, I was like, did it slip my mind and was Ed Sheeran on this album too? And like that's where they got the linkage? No, he's not on the album.
yeah.
No idea.
Maybe I think he's
like
a Pokemon fan from what I read. So maybe he was like, oh, I really want to do something. And they were like, sure.
I mean, good on him.
Yeah,
Good on
yeah.
him. It's kind of weird that they picked Pokemon Go to give him his collaboration with, out of all things. Like I guess it's better than nothing. Like he is technically in a Pokemon game in a sense, which is kind of cool. Like that's some bragging rights right there.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me. We have been me and Emma have been playing Pokemon Go quite frequently.
Right.
When we were allowed out, like during non-lockdowns and all that sort of stuff. We've slowed down now because of all the lockdowns and things. And but they were doing, like they have been doing, when the seasonal events happens, like when Halloween comes around, they changed the background music to be sort of spooky.
Okay.
They during a couple of the events they've changed the background music, so I'm assuming that's what they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
I would assume. Yeah, I feel like it'd be quite a stretch to like write a story arc of Ed Sheeran and make him like a Pokemon professor or something like that, and you have to do tasks for him. I feel like that's going to be a bit of a stretch, but the bare minimum, they're going to change like the background song to something he has written and performed, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because they tweeted it and they just basically tweeted it in the most like conspicuous and mysterious way possible.
Teaser, yeah.
There's no news whatsoever other than they are working together on something. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess, and see what happens. But keep your eyes and ears peeled to this podcast, because we'll talk about it when we do hear about it. Moving on though, Jens, Disney World. It's coming to Minecraft, of all places.
I'm excited.
Yes, Minecraft have recently been doing for a little while now, like sort of these collaborations with brands and companies and all that sort of stuff, and putting their things into Minecraft. Mainly when they got acquired by Microsoft is when it sort of all started, and like they got like Halo DLC packs, and they made like Halo maps and all that fun stuff. But yeah, they're now doing a Disney World one, which is very interesting. So it's going to be like a huge Minecraft DLC, which is going to let players explore basically a virtual version of the Florida theme park, pretty much one-to-one, just in Minecraft blocks. So the pack that you can get is going to include a map, obviously, that recreates Disney's Magic Kingdom, complete with character meet and greets, player skins, and even a virtual version of the park's iconic fireworks show that you can like have right at the end of the day.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool. The pack also includes 29 Disney and Pixar characters that players can meet and greet, as well as 25 Disney-themed skins for players that are up in, as well as character-created items such as the iconic Mickey and Minnie Mouse ears.
I want those ears.
Because that's kind of cool. You can download it right now, I guess, if you access the marketplace on whatever Minecraft platform you use, and it's around $10, give or take, depending on what currency you're using and where you are in the world and lots of fun stuff. But Yeah, pretty standard stuff. I feel like most of the other DLCs that I've seen for Minecraft have been around that price, you know.
Mm.
They obviously are targeted quite a lot at a younger audience, so they want to make it as accessible as possible.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it is very interesting that Disney, being the money cows that they are,
Or
didn't
not.
try and like gorge the kids and make it $15. You know, get like an extra $5 out of
Yeah.
everyone. Like that's kind of surprising, but you know, cool that I guess Microsoft made them stick to their guns and be like, no, as cheap as we can. You know, $10. I feel like $10 is pretty fair. You know,
$10 is
like
fair. I mean, I don't know what sort of content other than like greeting characters and.
yeah, being able to walk around and sort
I
of
mean,
just
it is
look at
really
it.
just
You know,
a
it's
walkthrough. It's not like
yeah.
a game. So
Having
$10
having
is.
said that,
Mm.
there is I've seen it on TikTok a bunch, and I don't know like where, but obviously this is different for if you're on console or PC, you know, whatever platform you prefer to play on. But I know on PC there is this guy that has a modded server of this exact thing, a Disneyland like theme park.
Oh yeah.
But they've modded the shit out of it. Like it is practically like you go to Disneyland in Minecraft. Like it's
Oh,
almost
cool.
identical. You can pay to go on the rides. You can like, you know, go up to vendors and you can get like, you know, the big leg of like the
The
turkey leg. You
turkey.
can get
Yeah.
pretzels. You can like, you know, you can do everything. There's bathrooms. You can go in and like wash your hand. Like it is practically just a Disney World RPG in a sense, just set in Minecraft, you know.
That's quite cool.
It's yeah, you can go around and like, you know, there's little pin swap areas where you can like swap pins with vendors and, you know, trade pins and all that sort of fun. Like it's incredible what they've done. But obviously it's only available on PC because
Of the modding.
like the console versions are running
Yeah.
Bedrock or whatever, and you need to run Java, the Java version of Minecraft. So it's, you know, there is a wall there, but I'm pretty sure it's all free and stuff like that too to access. Like you can just walk around it and you can just do it all pending you download all the mods and, you know, set it all up and whatnot.
That's pretty amazing.
But it's yeah. It is. It's kind of cool. I saved a bunch of videos like ages ago to like try and get onto it, but it's just skipped my mind. I don't know if I've just
Yeah.
gotten too busy or whatever it was. But having seen this now, I do want to go and try and find that video and check it out again because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Mm.
I'd be down for that. But yeah, Disney World coming to Minecraft. That's the headline. Moving on, Jens. We've got a little bit of Xbox news. This year, 20th anniversary of Halo. Everything's having an anniversary this year. What a year. Jesus.
I mean,
but yes, it's the 20th anniversary. Yeah, yeah, I guess. But yeah, no, it's the 20th anniversary of just Xbox as a whole and Halo, because Halo did launch with Xbox way back when. So alongside Microsoft just dropping the new Halo Infinite multiplayer live like 3-4 weeks early or whatever it is.
It's
there was
only the multiplayer bit, right? As a beta?
It's only the multiplayer. Yeah. The as a beta too, it is still, you know, just a beta thing. So like the official season does launch still on December 8th alongside the campaign from memory.
Yeah, okay.
So but that's just right around the corner. It's like 2 weeks away now.
I think it's free for everyone, but the game itself, when it comes out, you will have to buy it. So it's a good taster.
It's a bit confusing. The multiplayer is free to play, but yeah, the campaign is its own separate thing that you pay for.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if the campaign is also going to be on Xbox Game Pass. I don't think so. Probably eventually. But I don't think it is going to be at launch. I think it's just the multiplayer. So
right, okay.
Who knows? I could be wrong, but that's what I've understood from like all the announcements and things that I've seen and whatnot. But yeah, so alongside that multiplayer beta that they've dropped a couple of weeks early, there was another Halo themed announcement, which was a trailer and a date for the 2022 live action Halo TV series, which we got, which Halo fans went mad at.
Yeah, I think
absolutely. Halo fans are feasting this week, man. They're feasting.
I know, they're happy.
I haven't seen it either because I'm not the biggest Halo fan. You know, like I've dabbled in the series on and off, but you know, I'm not in the line day one getting every single game. You know, it's just
Yeah, I didn't grow up with games, so I only had one encounter with Halo, and it was me like, this was my first time using controller. So I just like I was looking up and I couldn't move and I died, and then I was like, yeah, I'm done.
I mean, look, first person, like, if for anyone that's never played a video game, like jumping straight into a first person shooter or anything first person is probably the hardest thing you can do. It is, like, you know, it's
and
easy to say from like,
that's way hard.
Yeah, and on a controller, yeah. Like it's easy to say now, you know, now that we've played, I don't know how many tens of thousands of hours worth of games across our lifespans. But like when you first started, like it is quite a tricky thing to get that like coordination down of using one side of your brain to move like left, right, backwards and forwards and whatnot. And then the other side to look up, down, left, right. You know, it is a very technical sort of thing to have to try and figure out.
It's pretty amazing. Like as a human being to like know how
being
to
able
do
to split
that.
your brain like that.
Yeah.
And then like when you it's crazy as well how much it throws you for a loop when you jump in like a jet or a helicopter in Battlefield and they invert the control scheme, and I'm like, I can't do it.
My brain is not there yet. I am a failed species. I cannot.
Oh bro, that's why I can drive in the like the tanks and things like that. That's fine. But as soon as you put me in an aerial vehicle, bro, don't even ask me. I'm not flying this thing. We're going right into the building or the side of that mountain, and that's it. Like, oh, I struggle so much. But yeah. And then on top of that, Jenz, some more Xbox news. Which, are you surprised about this? Because I'm not surprised at all. I think we speculated about this.
I think a lot of people did.
When Bethesda was acquired by Microsoft. But it has since been noted by Phil Spencer himself in an interview with GQ. He makes it pretty damn clear that Elder Scrolls 6 will, you know, act as kind of a chokehold against, you know, Sony's like exclusive and market dominance and all that sort of stuff that's been going on for a couple of years now. So Spencer goes on to say that it's not about punishing any other platform, which I don't believe. Like I fundamentally believe all of the platforms can continue to grow, but in order to be on Xbox, I want us, Xbox, to be able to bring the full, complete package of what we have. I want, and that would be true when I think about Elder Scrolls 6. That would be true when I think about all of our franchises. So yeah, unsurprisingly, it does seem like Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be an exclusive, I say in quotations, to both Xbox and PC, because, you know, Xbox, all the Xbox Studios games, they just release day one on PC as it is anyways. I feel like it'd be kind of dumb to block out that market, especially for a game this big. But that's also, Jenz, why I say exclusive in quotations, because I feel like Microsoft would be super dumb to make this Elder Scrolls 6 to make it a 100% Xbox and PC exclusive. I feel like it's going to be an Xbox exclusive for a year or two.
You reckon they're going to go on PlayStation?
It will release on PlayStation. 100%. I mean, all the other Elder Scrolls games have already been on PlayStation before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. All the other ones have been on PlayStation already and stuff like that. It's only until like these past couple of months when Microsoft did acquire Bethesda that the potential for like exclusives has sort of been thrown around the room and all that, you know? And as we already know, Sony's PlayStation 5 still, even in, you know, like the current market where it's hard to get one just because of the low population, are still selling better than the Xboxes from memory.
Is it because they have like actual units to sell? Because PlayStation, I don't know.
Well, I mean PlayStation. Sorry, I mean PlayStation. From memory, a PlayStation is selling better than Xbox.
Oh, I thought you did the other way around. I was like,
no. So I'm pretty sure it is the flip, and it is Sony that are selling better still than Microsoft, even in the this current climate.
I mean, think about it.
So you think like that's a big market to block out. Like that's a big market.
Yeah, but they have the PC market. PlayStation don't.
Yeah, I know, but there's people out there that just prefer to play on a console. Like, you know.
Yeah, but I think it's purely like PlayStation dominates purely because of the exclusives and just
100%.
Their UI. 100%. Sorry, I love Xbox Game Pass, but the UI on both the Game Pass and Xbox is so hard to
I mean,
understand
I
sometimes.
can I can get by with the UI on Game Pass, like the Xbox app on my PC. That's
Yeah,
cool, but that console desktop, man, that thing is bonkers. That is wonky. I
yeah.
don't know. I don't
I just
understand it
don't
at all.
understand
Uh,
it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I'd be surprised because from this statement, it feels like it's going to be Xbox exclusive.
Oh,
Full
yeah.
stop.
That's what I get to. It does feel like it is going to be Xbox exclusive, but we just don't know the extent of that exclusivity.
Yeah,
You know, like they
if it's
obviously it is still
timed
probably a
or
year or two away at this stage. Like, you know, I'd be very surprised if it was coming out 2023. I don't think they even set a hard release date, but yeah, it's still a year or two away at most. You know, we do also have Starfield. I think it is from Bethesda also coming out, which is 100% Xbox exclusive already. But we've known that like that was been an Xbox exclusive like since it was announced. Like that was nothing
yeah,
too crazy. Um, so it's, yeah, that's why I don't know. I still feel I still have hope at least that not that I care too much either because I've never
because
been a big
you
Elder Scrolls fan, but
yeah
and I also do have a PC too. So like if I was
yeah
gonna play it, I could at least play it on my PC. Like it's not that big of a deal breaker for me. But yeah, I still do have hope in some sense that Microsoft are going to release it on PlayStation. It'll just be later down the track, if anything, you know. Um, it's yeah, because like I said, I feel like it'd be kind of silly to block out that whole market, you know.
mm, fair enough.
Especially for a game that like it's such a big game. Like people have been clamoring for this thing for you know years,
Yeah,
years. After how many times has like Skyrim been like released and re-released and stuff like that? So, yeah,
no
I
idea.
honestly think Bethesda and Rockstar are having like a dick measuring contest at the moment as to how many times each publisher can re-release their like game or whatever, you
Yeah,
know. But
I think Rockstar with their trilogy, there was a glitch that if you wiggle your car, like serpentine it, it makes the car bigger, like
yeah,
physically. Funny.
that is incredible. Incredible. Did you see the weird bug too that if you're playing, I think on PlayStation only it was, but if you're riding a bike and then going to first person and look behind, you see CJ's face like directly in the middle of the screen, like he's just staring at you. It's quite amusing. It's quite
That's pretty
amusing.
funny.
Yeah. Um,
Ugh.
but also funny you bring that up
Yeah.
because there has been some weird performance issues with this game.
Yeah.
So much so that they took it off the PC store, like
Oh,
the PC
really? They
storefront.
took it
You
off.
can't get it on PC at the moment. Yeah.
That's bad.
Because like when it launched, the whole Rockstar service was down, and like you can't play the game without the Rockstar
Ah,
service because you got to like you got to connect it to validate your game or some shit. I don't know. But yeah,
interesting.
they took it off. I was like, woofed. That's not what you want. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
But I have been hearing good things from it. You know,
The
people are
nostalgia
quite
must be
happy with it.
nice.
You know, yeah. I think that's the main thing that people are getting hooked into is just the nostalgia of it. You know, like
Yeah.
because for a lot of people, it's probably like the first big game that they ever played. Like or the first game that they can like
Remember.
wholeheartedly remember
Yeah.
playing. You know, yeah. Um, but yeah. Anyways, that's our quick news topics for the week, gents. Now we're going to be here for the next hour by the
I
looks of
know,
it.
that was
There is
half an hour
so
of quick
much
news.
text. Oh,
All right, let's
my
go.
God.
Disney
That
Plus
wasn't
Day.
quick, yeah. All right, so like I said at the start of the episode, for some reason Disney thought it was a good idea to give Disney Plus their own public holiday thing. I don't understand. I think it's to celebrate the launch of Disney Plus, like when it first came out, but
Yeah.
don't hold me to that. But that sounds about right. But yeah, so for it, and what it seems like, they're making Disney Plus Day every year, like this big sort of holiday thing where they can announce new projects, release new things, all that fun stuff. And so alongside that was where they released like the streamable version of Shang-Chi in IMAX format and all that sort of stuff too. So that came out on the 12th last week, Friday the
Get
12th.
on it,
And then
listener.
yeah, get on it if you haven't seen Shang-Chi. Very good film. Very good film. Also in IMAX too. So if you have like a TV and stuff
Yeah,
like that that's able
incredible.
to, I guess you can watch it on any sort of thing, but if you have a big enough TV, watch it in IMAX format. That's kind of cool. But also one of our friends, Gat, did tell us that he had a look and they also did release IMAX format for a bunch of other Marvel movies too. So I think like Endgame and Infinity War and stuff like that were also put into IMAX
Oh, okay.
resolution and all that fun stuff. So there's a couple of other ones there too. So if you haven't done a rewatch yet, now's probably a
Now's
good
the
time.
time.
Yeah. But I am just going to go through this entire list and list out all the things that they have announced. And I want to get your thoughts on each of these things, because some of these things you're probably going to get, and some of these
Let's
things you're probably
go.
going to be like, who the hell is that? Where are they coming from? Why are they in my Disney Plus streaming thing? Like there's so much. All right, so starting off, one of the most anticipated announcements that came out of the Disney Plus day was the X-Men 1997 animated series. The cartoon is returning. It is coming back. It will be arriving sometime in 2023. We have no idea when abouts in 2023. Probably going to say towards the end of the year, just to try and hit that holiday season. But the animated series from Marvel Studios is going to explore new stories in the iconic 90s timeline of the original series. So it's not going to be reimagining it for MCU. They're not going to be linking it to the MCU yet, at least. Yet.
Interesting.
It seems like they're just going to be following on straight from where it ended sometime in the 90s. It's just going to be following on from that story and just going to pick up where it's left off, basically. Going to be using the same characters, obviously different voice actors. But yeah, people were ecstatic about this.
Really?
Ecstatic, because this is one of the most popular like Marvel cartoons that have come out ever.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
man, this was
People
And like I
love
never watched it as a
X-Men.
kid. I watched the Spider-Man cartoon growing up, obviously, but I have seen a lot of people were buzzing about this. So
Nice.
but yeah. So what are your thoughts, Jen? Are you excited for it? Are you a big X-Men fan?
I am an X-Men fan, but only of late, mostly because of Logan. I loved Logan, but I do love the X-Men series.
Oh, beautiful film, Logan is. Beautiful film.
Logan was spectacular. I
Yeah.
am a bit more hesitant when it comes to an animated series.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't connected to a lot of animated series. I mean, there's been that.
Well,
yes.
you better hold that energy, Jens, because boy, do I have some shockers for you coming up. All right, moving on. Bit of a change of pace. We got our first look. Now, some of these things we already have been announced, but we're getting like first looks at them, or like little teasers and things like that.
Yeah.
So, starting off, we got our first look at Moon Knight. Moon Knight, Jens. So this follows Oscar Isaac. Yes, that Oscar Isaac from Star Wars and Dune and a bunch of other fun things. In Marvel Studios' Moon Knight, where he plays the titular character. So I'm gonna give you, I guess, a little synopsis for these first three things here, because Marvel kindly provided us with some. Moon Knight is a new globe-trotting action-adventure series featuring a complex vigilante who suffers from dissociative identity disorder. The multiple identities who live inside of him find themselves thrust into a deadly war of the gods against the backdrop of modern and ancient Egypt. Moon Knight is coming to Disney Plus in 2022. People are 50-50 on Moon Knight. I kind of feel like you have to be like a crazy big Moon Knight fan to be like on board. But yeah, a lot of people don't know who he is. You know, like we have to be sort of very much integrated into like the comics and things like that. But he is a sort of a legacy character. He has been around for quite a while. So you do have people that have like the nostalgia link to him and things like that, and from reading him growing up and whatnot. But it seems kind of cool. They did give us like a little 30-second teaser trailer, which I'm going to have behind us. All the teaser trailers that they have provided, I'll put up behind us. So if you guys haven't seen them, you can sort of see them there.
Oscar's a great choice.
But if you guys are listening, yeah, he sort of fits the role. I can see it, you know, I can see it. And it's exciting too, getting like another big name in the MCU. Like Oscar Isaacs is huge. Like, you know, he's been in giant movies and stuff like that of recent, you know, June most recently. Star Wars, obviously, Poe Dameron or whatnot. But yeah, we got him in the MCU now. So very exciting.
Yeah.
Moving on. First look at She-Hulk. So Tatiana Maslany, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in Marvel Studios' She-Hulk, where she plays Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk. So She-Hulk follows Jennifer, a lawyer who specializes in superhuman-oriented legal cases. She-Hulk will welcome a host of Marvel characters to the series, including Hulk himself, played by Mark Ruffalo, and the Abomination, played by Tim Roth. This series is also coming to Disney Plus sometime in 2022. This looks like it's going to be the more funny side of like Marvel stuff. You know, it's going to be quite comic heavy and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, on the opposite, looks going to be like it's quite brooding and action heavy and like, you know, all that crazy stunt stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, this looks like, you know, the complete opposite of that. But still looks kind of cool. There's a little trailer for it. We got to see Mark Ruffalo in it. We got to see a little bit of like She-Hulk in her uniform. It's yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm very interested with this because it's a fun like concept having a lawyer for superheroes, you know, because
Yeah.
obviously like, you know, basic lawyers can handle like, you know, day-to-day cases like, you know, murders and all that sort of some fun stuff. But it gets very different when you have a superpower or, you know, something like that, you know. There's no real like good defense for those sorts of things. So it's yeah, it's a very interesting sort of concept, you know. And I'm excited to see where it goes, you know. Uh and then we got another first look at Miss Marvel. So Iman Vellani, who plays Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, so Miss Marvel introduces viewers to Kamala, a 16-year-old Pakistani American from Jersey City. She's an aspiring artist, an avid gamer, and a fan of Scribe, fanfiction
Gamer.
Scribe. So she likes writing things and yeah, gaming. She's basically one of us, you know,
Yeah.
basically just a nerd. And she's also a huge fan of the Avengers, and one in
Was.
particular, Captain Marvel, obviously.
Yeah.
But Kamala has always struggled to find her place in the world. That is until she gets superpowers. Miss Marvel is also coming out sometime in 2022. So we got a busy year coming next year. A busy, busy year. But we're not done yet, Jens. We're just
Oh my
halfway through.
goodness.
So we got some more, like some of these things we already knew were coming, like Secret Invasion and stuff like that. You know, we knew that. I Am Groot we knew was coming. But Ironheart we also knew was coming. But we did get some new tidbits on some other shows. So What If Season 2, as sort of speculated by a lot of people, we are getting a second season.
Mm-hmm.
So after enlisting the Guardians of the Multiverse to stop Infinity Ultron, the Watcher returns in season 2 of What If to meet new heroes and explore more strange new worlds in the MCU's
Interesting.
ever-expanding multiverse.
The
So it
the
seems like
new
it's going to be a
heroes
totally
bit
different
is
sort of
interesting.
storyline. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not going to be following the same characters that we saw in season 1. You know, that we're going to be getting some different ones. So they're probably going to be uh obviously, you know, probably like, you know, Miss Marvel and She-Hulk and
Yeah,
Moon Knight
like
and all the ones
the
that like the new characters
not
we're getting,
the
like I would
main
assume.
group.
Yeah, but having said that, actually, let me pull it up. I don't know if it's still up. Go to Instagram. I was on Instagram last night or the day before.
Mm.
And I think it was Marvel that posted it, but they posted an image of a very interesting looking character design. Yeah, here it is. I'll have it up behind us for those that are watching. But they posted just the caption "What if?" hashtag Marvel Comics, and it's a photo of what looks like Miles Morales dressed in a black and red Wolverine uniform. Has got the Wolverine claws out,
Oh, I
but the
see
black
it.
and red very much resembles Deadpool.
Yeah.
Very so it's like a triple header of like the merge of like characters. We got Deadpool, Miles Morales, and Wolverine, and I'm like, bro, if they're going X-Men and like expanded like universe sort of things, like Spider-Verse things, there's gonna be a crazy season of What If. Absolutely bonkers. I cannot wait. Oh,
Very
this is insane.
interesting.
Insane. Yeah, insane. We have no release date for What If Season 2, but I'm assuming it's still going to be a couple of years away and they're going to like wait for some of these new characters to be introduced in the MCU so they can, you know, utilize them a bit more and whatnot. But yeah, we'll just have to keep our eyes and ears peeled because I very much enjoyed season 1 of What If and I am very excited for a season 2. You know, I was hoping they did do a season 2.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's good to see that they, you know, are following along. Um, One of the new shows then, so moving on, that got announced, totally new, called Echo. Not too much we know about this one, other than the series stars uh Alakwa Cox, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, as Maya Lopez, which is a character who's going to be introduced in the upcoming Hawkeye TV show that we're getting
Okay.
in 5 days.
Really?
Next week, Wednesday. Yeah, a week. Sorry, a week. It comes out like on the
Yes.
24th, I think. They're releasing 2 episodes. It's a 2-episode premiere, so we'll get the first 2 episodes, and then the rest coming on later. But yeah, that's coming out next week. So we're going to see this character introduced then, and she's getting her own TV show apparently, which is
Very
kind of interesting.
interesting.
Again, no release date for this one, but obviously you can expect it to come out sometime after Hawkeye,
Yep.
probably 2023. I'm going to assume, because 2022 is already looking pretty packed out. So yeah, 2023. I'm assuming now. Oh boy.
A
Oh,
little
just take your
excited.
socks off right now. Just take. I've already taken my socks off. Just take your
Alright.
socks off right now,
Alright.
because gents, we are getting an animated Spider-Man cartoon in the MCU titled Spider-Man Freshman Year. This animated series follows Peter Parker, the MCU Peter Parker, not some random Peter Parker, the MCU Peter Parker, on his way to becoming Spider-Man in the MCU, with a journey unlike anything we've ever seen and a style that celebrates the character's early comic book roots. Can you get more excited for a show? Tell me right now. No, you
No.
can't. Oh my god. I am so excited for this, man. I cannot
Oh,
describe the
really?
words of excitement that I'm having. Bro, I cannot wait, man. Animated Spider-Man, are you kidding me? And it's like because obviously, when Peter Parker, when the current Spider-Man was introduced to the MCU, we didn't get like an introduction onto how he became Spider-Man. Like we just sort of, he just popped up and it was like, "Yo, I'm Spider-Man. I'm here to party." Like
Yeah. I mean,
because obviously they did, and Marvel did correctly skip the whole introduction to Spider-Man, because we have seen it 2 times before now
it's
with
like
Andrew Garfield and Tobey
Batman
Maguire. Like,
used to
yeah,
do that a
exactly,
lot, and
exactly,
then now they just
yeah, yeah, and they just skip it entirely, because if you know Batman, you know how he became Batman. Like you just know, it's like
you just
it
know his
runs through your
origin.
veins.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah. And so, obviously, I think because they've tweaked his character a little bit in the MCU, they do want to flesh out some of his background and things. So, I think that's why they're doing this show.
Yeah.
But it's very exciting, more so for the fact that it seems like Marvel are continuing on with their partnership with Sony to keep the Spider-Man name and like use the character and stuff like that. So that was the thing that I was most excited about, was the fact that they can continue to use the character, like,
Right.
and he can continue to pop up in future things or all that fun stuff. But yeah, so but yeah, other than
I
that,
really want to know.
yeah, obviously you guys know me. You guys know me. I'm a Spider-Man fan. I was excited for this before I even knew the synopsis. But yeah, what would you want to know? Sorry.
I really want to know if they're gonna do a Spider-Verse 2.
Spider-Verse 2 is confirmed. They are currently making that. I think it's 2020. Let me Google it. I don't want to say 2023 and then I'm wrong. I could be wrong,
Because that film was
but it is coming out.
so good.
It is coming out.
Okay, great.
Okay, no, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 is 2022. Yeah. So
Okay.
its pegged release date is 7th of October, 2022.
Ooh, late.
But it could still be delayed and stuff like that too, because
Yeah.
of, the way that they animate it is a very technical like form of animation and things like that. So it could be delayed, but yeah, sometime late next year, we'll just say. But yeah. Are we done? No, we're not done,
No.
Jens. We still got more. So, literally, these two are literally just new title cards that they gave us, like a new logo. But I'm still gonna talk about them. So we got a new look. Marvel called it a new look at the show I Am Groot. It's literally just a new logo. But the synopsis of the show is it's a series of shorts that follows Baby Groot's glory days growing up and getting into trouble among the stars.
Oh.
So what it sounds like is it's going to be sort of, I guess, similar to What If, in the sense that like a bunch of other characters are going to pop up and like Baby Groot's going to interact with them, in some way or another.
It's gonna be like Baby Yoda, like Mandalorian.
Yeah, probably in a sense. Yeah, probably in a sense. But yeah, this one's also going to be animated, so
okay.
it's going to be cute. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, the shorts though, it sounds like they're probably going to be like 15 minutes episodes max tops, probably something like that, which isn't a bad thing, but it's no release date for that either, but that's coming out sometime, probably 2023. We also did get a new look, in quotations, at Ironheart. Again, literally just a new logo. But the synopsis of the series is it stars Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, who is a genius inventor who creates the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man. Now in the comics, Ironheart is basically just the code name for the female version of Iron
Yeah.
Man, and she just ends up taking on that mantle. So one can assume pretty safely that that's what this is going to be too, is Riri Williams taking on the mantle of Iron Man. Um,
That'd be nice because we
but yeah,
haven't
kind of excited for
had
this too. Yeah.
a quote unquote Iron Man like replacement.
No, yeah. Having said
That's
that, we
cool.
do get, I think it's called Armor Walls, Armor Wars. Sorry, not Armor Walls. Armor Wars, which is like War Machine from the MCU is getting his own TV show. I forget the actor that plays him.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, he's getting his own TV show. There was no news on that in this whole Disney Plus Day presentation thing, but that is still coming out sometime 2022, I want to say, from memory.
Okay.
So keep your ears peeled for that. But yeah, that will also be sort of an expansion of like, some Iron Man lore and whatnot in there. Probably Jen's most excited one, and most anticipated one. We got the
Yeah.
official confirmation that Catherine Hahn is returning in Agatha, House of Harkness, which I do want to touch on that title in a little bit after I talk about the synopsis. So, Agatha, House of Harkness will reveal more about the character first introduced in WandaVision. Jack Schaefer, who served as the head writer and executive producer on WandaVision, will return for House of Harkness. So, it's probably going to be very similar in its writing style and its,
I'm so
cinematography and all that.
excited.
Yeah, very excited for this. Now, one thing I wanted to touch on, gents. House of Harkness, House of M is a very popular. I don't know if you remember me talking about this when we were first watching through WandaVision and all that, but House of M is a very popular X-Men comic series that followed WandaVision losing her mind and going crazy and basically doing what she did in the show, like creating her own bubble universe and manipulating people and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I do remember mentioning it. But House of Harkness is very interesting in the way that it's worded because it does, obviously sound very similar to House of M. So it could, again, play into that. I don't know, but that's all I wanted to touch on. Jen's thoughts on Catherine Hahn returning? Are you excited?
I love her. I love her. More of her. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. That's you pretty much summed it up.
I will add something about that, Catherine, later, but yeah.
Okay. Second to last little announcement. We are getting another animated show, Marvel Zombies, which we sort of got a first little tease about, I guess, in season 1 of What If.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple of zombies and whatnot in there. But we're getting a whole series fleshed out on the whole zombie apocalypse in the Marvel Universe. So the animated series from Marvel Studios reimagines the Marvel Universe as a new generation of heroes battle against an ever-spreading zombie scourge, which is very interesting. Marvel Zombies is a very popular comic book line as well. A lot of people are happy to see this. It's kind of exciting that it's animated too, because I feel like it's going to lend itself very well to, the zombie things and all that sort of stuff. It's just going to look a bit better than live action. But yeah, so I'm excited about this. And then finally, we have a new look at Secret Invasion. So the series stars Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn as Talos, who we've sort of known. These characters first met in Captain Marvel, as we all know. This crossover comic event series showcases a faction of shape-shifting Skrulls who have been infiltrating Earth for years, which is going to be very interesting because I'm assuming in this show there's going to be lots of bombshells in the sense that we find out that Skrulls have been controlling a lot more than what we were aware of.
Right.
Like the whole time, I feel like it's going to be a very big bombshell series. One other thing I want to touch on, Jens, is that the lovely Emilia Clarke also stars in this, but she's an unlisted character at the time of writing. We have no idea who she's playing.
Interesting. I love Emilia.
Very interesting. So we're getting another big actor. And we did also get what's his name? He was in Game of Thrones 2 and has just appeared in the MCU.
Oh. Jason Momoa?
You know who? No, not Jason Momoa. I think he is trying to get a role in the MCU though, but he plays one of the knights. Jon Snow. Whoever played Jon Snow.
Oh, him, Kit Harington.
Kit Harington. Yeah, he appeared in Eternals. He was in Eternals.
Hey.
So it seems like Like, that's not a spoiler. People knew he was going to be in Eternals.
I didn't know that.
People knew that. People knew that.
People don't know.
People knew that. He appeared a bunch of times in there. He was like, I think he was one of the first characters that was. I think he was one of the first characters that was shown on screen from memory, like on Earth, because he was.
Anyways, I don't remember. I only remember Angelina Jolie.
Whoever the main character's name was, I think it was Cersei. I think he was her Earth boyfriend. Earth boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it seems like we're getting a bunch of Game of Thrones, characters coming across the MCU now, which is kind of exciting. From one big franchise to another, I guess. But yeah, Jenz, I am out of breath. That is thankfully all the news from Disney Plus Day. What were you going to say about Catherine Hahn?
She is currently in a new show that's on Apple TV, and it's called The Shrink Next Door or something like that.
Is that good? Where did I see that?
It's really good. It's probably advertised everywhere, but it's
I was gonna say I can't remember where I've seen it. I saw it, I think it was an interview or something I watched with one of the actors in it. I don't know.
Okay. The Shrink. Yeah, The Shrink Next Door.
But it's on Apple TV, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's on Apple TV.
Yeah.
It's Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd, and Catherine, and it's
that's right. It
so good.
Oh, it would have been. Oh, I was watching a British talk show, and Paul Rudd was on it. Who am I thinking of?
Graham?
Who is it? Graham Norton. Yeah, I was watching Graham Norton. Paul Rudd was on it, and that's what he was there for.
Right.
He was there for that, and Ghostbusters too.
Oh yeah, that.
But yeah, no, that seems very interesting. That's a good pairing too. Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell, like
they're incredible in it. Like Will Ferrell
that's a good pairing.
Like I've only seen Will Ferrell mostly in comedy, like Anchorman. So
well, that's the thing. Yeah, it is a little bit of a comedy show, but it's mainly like a drama sort of show, is in a sense. Like it's not Will Ferrell in his typical role.
No,
yeah.
So it's really cool to see him.
Which is. Yeah, that was where I think that's where I was most interested about it, was the fact that you have these two like comedic icons or whatever in not a comedic film or not a comedic TV show, like that. It was very, very strange, but very intriguing. It is on my watch list.
I highly recommend. And Catherine,
how long do the episodes go for?
Amazing. About an hour, I think, or just under that.
Okay, yeah, so they're long. Yeah, okay, that's cool. No,
great.
It is definitely on my watch list. There's so much coming out. It's just hard to keep up with all these things, man. Honestly.
Another show I would 1,000,000% recommend on Disney Plus is Dope Sick.
Dope Sick.
Yeah. It's about the OxyContin, the whole shit in America where people are getting hooked on OxyContin, which is opioid.
Okay, yeah.
It's
interesting.
So well made, that show, and they're drip feeding you episodes every Wednesday or whatever. It's so good.
It's not a documentary, is it? It's like a
no, but it's like
not
a documentary.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about though. Not a mockumentary either, but it's like
no,
it's still informative.
It's still a TV show. Like you follow the case and like follow the timeline of things and all that shit.
Yeah,
it's just really good and really interesting. I reckon Emma might like it. I
was gonna say that sounds like it's right up her wheelhouse. Yeah,
it's great. But yeah, that's on Disney Plus.
Okay, yeah, no. All right, on the watch list too. Man, see what I mean? There's just so much to do, so much to watch, so little time to fill it with.
So much to play. I know.
Oh my god, man. Yeah, it is. Just
first world problems.
It is. It's really hard. All right, then, gents. I think that is everything.
Yes.
That we want to talk about this week. Was there anything you wanted to tack on before we wrap up for the week? I think you already did tack on.
I already did my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, nothing from me this week, guys. So as always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.